Welcome to the second video. This video is all about getting ready, preparing the required documents, looking at the forms you will need to fill, and sharing templates to make the process much easier. Note, if you are a student and your main goal is to find a dormitory, then things are actually very simple. All you need are two documents, a copy of your passport and your university acceptance letter. That's it. Those two documents are enough to start your dormitory application. So if that's your case, you can skip this video and go straight to the next one, where we will show you step by step how to search for dormitory accommodation directly through your university and apply online. Other than that, stay tuned because in this video, we will go through all the documents, templates, and practical steps you will need to apply successfully for an accommodation in Germany. Let's break it down document by document. Passport or residence permit. If you are new in Germany, your passport will do. If you already live here, you will also need to show your residence permit. Proof of income. If you have a job, full-time or part-time, your payslips work perfectly. If you are a student, show your blocked account confirmation. For example, a proof that you have 990 euros available per month. Another option is a guarantee letter from your parents or relatives. It basically says they will support you financially. It is recommended if you are a student because the monthly income seems low. Mieterselbstauskunft order, tenant self-disclosure. What is that? A simple two-page form almost every landlord in Germany will ask you to fill out. Think of it as a quick introduction. It tells the landlord who you are, what you do, and how many people plan to move in. It usually asks for your name and contact details, your employment or student status, your monthly income. The goal is to give the landlord a first impression of you and to check if you are a reliable tenant. You can simply download a sample from Immobilien Scout 24. We will leave the link in the description. How to fill it out? To make your life easier, we have also prepared a complete and free filled out example with a mock tenant. So, you will see exactly what to write in each field. For example, here, write your last name and first name. Here, write your birth date. And here, write your previous address in Germany. If none, leave it empty. And so on. This way, you will know exactly what's expected and won't have to guess. Quick tip. Fill it correctly, keep a digital copy and reuse it for every application. You will save a lot of time. Schufa. In a nutshell, Schufa is your German credit report. It shows landlords whether you have unpaid debts or a bad credit history. How does it look? It's usually a one-page document like this, with your personal details at the top and below that. It shows whether you have negative records or not. Where to apply it for? You can order your Schufa easily online from the official website. We will put the link in the description. The cost is usually around 30 euros. What if you are new in Germany? Don't worry. Most newcomers don't have a Schufa yet. Why? You haven't signed contracts or taken loans in Germany. So your Schufa is basically empty. And that's a good thing. Quick tip. If you are a newcomer, just explain it to the landlord. In most cases, they will understand and won't ask for it. If they insist, you can provide one. Otherwise, you just saved yourself 30 euros. And hey, smash that like button if your Schufa is still beautifully empty. Mietschuldfreiheitsbescheinigung. What is it? It's a long German word, but in simple terms, it's a confirmation letter from your previous landlord that say you have no unpaid rent with them. How is it different from Schufa? Schufa shows your general credit history in Germany, loans, debts, contracts, while this one is only about rent. It's a proof that you paid your rent in your last apartment. You can download a sample online to see how it looks like. You don't fill it out yourself, your previous landlord does. They sign and stamp it to confirm you are debt-free. Newcomer? No worries, you won't have one for your first apartment. Liability insurance, the last document. Not always required, but some landlords do ask for it. It covers damages you might cause in the apartment, like water damage from a washing machine or breaking furniture. Even if not required, it's recommended because accidents do happen, and with liability insurance, you are protected and have peace of mind. And the good news is, it's actually quite cheap here. It costs around €5 per month only. You can find plenty of providers online. For example, Feather Insurance. I will leave a link in the description. Not sponsored, just for you to explore. But here is the thing, the documents alone aren't enough. Landlords often receive tens, sometimes even hundreds of applications within the first day of posting. So, what can you do? You need to stand out from the crowd. Make your application clear, complete, and professional. It will significantly increase your chances of being selected. I want to share a story from a real landlord who posted on Reddit. He received hundreds of messages, but most of them were not great. Tenant 1 wrote him, "Is this apartment still available?" Tenant 2 wrote, "I am 53, she is 55, want to move it." Tenant 3, "I, my wife, and my 3 children are looking for a large apartment, and yours is a great fit. Can you spot what's wrong with each of these messages?" They all have one thing in common, they don't provide enough information. Message 1, not enough information at all. The tenant just asks a question, no details about who they are, what they want, or anything useful for the landlord. Message 2, this one is even worse. The German is really poor. They didn't even bother to use a translator or write a proper sentence. On top of that, there is still not enough information about the tenants. Message 3, it's slightly longer, but still not enough information. Plus, the language is too informal. For example, they have used deine, which is the informal yours used with friends or colleagues. For a landlord or a company, they should have used the formal, respectful version in German ihre. So, how do we avoid these mistakes? How do you stand out and make a strong impression? In the next section, we will break it down step by step in 3 steps, showing exactly what to do differently so your application gets noticed and selected. Step 1. Prepare all your documents and put them in one neat PDF. Step 2. Write a cover letter. Step 3. Craft a simple, friendly introduction message. The first step to stand out is to get all your documents ready. Here's what you need: passport and, if available, your residence permit, proof of income, either your payslip or, if you are a student, your blocked bank account. You can also include a guarantee letter if you have one. Tenant self-disclosure form. Download it from the website we discussed, fill it out like in the example I showed you, and attach it to your documents. Schufa. If you already have one, newcomers usually don't need it. Confirmation of no previous rental debt. Again, newcomers won't have this yet, but if you do, attach it. Once you have all these documents, combine everything into a single PDF. You can do this easily using Microsoft Word or any other tool. Instead of sending multiple PDFs back and forth, upload your single PDF to Google Drive. You will have a ready-to-use link that you can share with the landlords. This way, all your documents are at one place, easy to access and professional. The next step to stand out is your cover letter. First, let's focus on the formal version. This formal cover letter is for companies that list rental properties or private landlords. We have provided a template in the description. Here's how it works. Blue fields, fill these fields with the relevant information. Red are notes, just notes for you. Read them and then delete. For example, if the contact person is a male, you will use sehr geehrter Herr plus last name. If it's a female, you will use sehr geehrte Frau plus last name. Next, introduce yourself. Mention your name, income, whether you smoke or not, whether you have pets. Include if you study at a university or work at a company. Add a few extra points to reassure the landlord that you will pay the rent on time, you are not a party person, or any other relevant positive information. At the end of the cover letter, include the Google Drive link to your documents. This way, the landlord can read a quick summary about you and if they want, access all your documents in one place. The second cover letter is for informal or casual situations, mostly when you are looking for a shared apartment. You will usually be talking to the current tenant who wants to leave their room or other roommates who posted the available room. Sometimes, even in private apartments, the person posting isn't the landlord. It could be the current tenant. In those cases, you will also want to use a friendly, casual style. We have also provided a template in the description. Start with a friendly greeting. Hello plus first name. Introduce yourself, your name, age, income, pets, etc. Go beyond the basics. This is your chance to show your personality, hobbies, interests, or activities you enjoy. How you like to spend weekends. What kind of roommate are you? Quiet, clean, or like to cook, etc. In almost all shared apartment ads, they usually include information about the current tenants, who they are, their ages, the languages they speak, their interests, and what they are looking for in a new roommate. This is super useful because it lets you learn more about your potential future roommates. You can then highlight any common interests or similarities in your cover letter, which helps you stand out and show that you would be a great fit. The goal is to write a human relatable letter and not a dry formal summary. Sharing personal details can connect you with potential roommates and maybe even discover common interests. The last step to stand out is to write a short but professional introduction message. Again, we will create two versions. Formal introduction message. Use this when you contact a company or private landlord. Start with a formal greeting in German using the landlord's name. Introduce yourself briefly. My name is. I am interested in your apartment because the size fits my needs. It's near my university, work, or school, and it's within my budget. Attach your formal cover letter, the one we prepared in step 2. The cover letter already includes a Google Drive link to all your documents, so the landlord can access everything easily. This formal introduction is concise, just a few sentences to grab their attention. Informal introduction message. Use this when messaging future roommates in a shared apartment. Start with a friendly greeting. Hi, first name. Introduce yourself briefly. My name is. I'm interested in your room because it's in a great location, and I think we would be a good match. Attach your informal cover letter. Keep this introduction concise. The detailed information is in your cover letter, so the introduction just sparks interest. At this point, you are fully ready. All your documents are in one Google Drive link. You have 2 cover letters, formal and informal. You have 2 short introduction messages, formal and informal. Let's say you have found an apartment ad. The first question you should ask yourself, is it a formal or informal? Formal, you are talking to a company or a private landlord. Informal, it's a shared apartment posted by a current tenant. If it's formal, use your formal introduction message and address the recipient by their last name. If it's informal, use your informal introduction message and address by their first name. Next, go to your cover letter. For formal ads, adjust it to include the last name of the landlord. For informal ads, add the first name of the recipient and highlight common interests or similarities within your potential roommates. Then send the introduction message and attach your cover letter, which already contains the Google Drive link to your documents. After that, move on to the next ad and repeat the process. Do this for tens or even hundreds of ads to maximize your chances. Now, you might be asking, where do I find all these ads? That's exactly what we will cover in our next video. We will talk about how to search for dormitories, how to find private and shared apartments, a step-by-step demo showing exactly how to find ads and apply it in a practical, real-world way. So, stay tuned. If you find this helpful, like and subscribe. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. Questions, suggestions, or topics you want us to cover? Drop a comment below.